Hello everybody. So let me show you what's going on here. This session might take a little second to load, but I made a funky groove and I'm just recording a piano solo on top of it. And I got this spinning wheel of doom, but just wait 1 second. There we go.
You killed it.
I'm on live Instagram. I'll be there in 1 second. These are contact instruments loading up. So what we've got is we've got some bass and we've got some beats and we've got some stuff. And I wanted to show you the vibe. How's everybody doing? Are you feeling good today? It's nice to see you. Hello everybody. We're almost ready to go. We're almost loaded. There's one question. How many tracks do I use? Well, let's have a look. I'm on 362 tracks, which is not my record, but it's still quite a lot of tracks. Yeah, so there's an awful lot of tracks to deal with here, which is why it's taking such a long time for them all to load up. But here we go. Let's see if we can take apart this groove a little bit. Okay, so claps. So the claps here are actually, those claps were recorded live. I did a gig in Manchester this one time at a venue called, I can't remember what it's called, Band on the Wall in Manchester. And for the encore, what I got to happen was that everybody in the crowd, I said, can half of the people get their phones out? Because everyone has a mobile phone these days. So everyone got their phone out, and then the other people stomped and clapped to this rhythm that was like, it was super cool. And then what happened was half the people filmed it and half the people did the stomping, and then they uploaded them to Twitter with a hashtag, and the hashtag was JC Stomp Clap, and then I took them all into Logic off the internet, and I put them into Logic, and they sound like this. It's like huge gang claps. Got 24 different tracks from Twitter, and it's just like, and then I got some synths going on, which is cool. Let me show you what's going on. There you go, this side. Okay. And then what's this? Oh, that's not anything in particular. Okay, the bass. Very cool. That was done in a plugin called Trillion. I don't know if you guys know Trillion. It's a virtual instrument made by Spectrasonics. So because I'm at 362 tracks, I've had to actually cut down the number of tracks in here, so that's bounced out from a different session. So are the gang claps and various other things. We've got some beat stuff here. That's all pretty straightforward. And then here we go, some crowd. This is fun. This is just me and my mates hanging out. Isn't that great? And then here's a bit of Gnawa. And Gnawa traditionally is quite wonky. It's like, but this is actually quantized. I re-quantized it because this is like a swung groove. And I sampled this from a song by Hamid El Kasri, who's a good friend of mine, lives in Morocco, Rabat. And so that's going on there. And then there's this tambourine, which kind of keeps it company. So when you join them all together, this is the vibe. Pretty nice. And then I got the whole of the Metropole Orchestra, who are also friends of mine, to do some of these like crazy hits and lines and stuff here. There you go. That's a fun one. And what I did at the end of that, if you see, look really closely, see those red lines that are going down there. That makes it go because you can either fade out or slow down. And if you right click on the crossfade, just there. See, there's an option, fade or slow down. So I've done slow down, and it sounds like this. And so it's kind of like, whoa, what's that surreal thing that you've... Okay. So you get the idea. Yeah, this orchestra extraordinarily good. And then what I did is I recorded this scratch piano solo on MIDI. And then what I did is so these things up here, these are vocals, traditional JC vocal stems. All night. So yeah, this is an arrangement of the song All Night Long, which I did at the BBC Proms, and may or may not be featured on an upcoming release of mine sometime in the next 5 years. But what these voices do is they just double stuff that's going on down here. So if I show you the, let me see if I can do this with one hand. The piano solo is here. Let's see if I can do this properly. So with the vocals doubling parts of it. Very nice. Very cool. So this is the section I'm working on. Someone's asking what software is this I'm using. This is Logic Pro. I'm a huge fan of Logic. It's very, very nice. Logic as a concept, obviously, and also as a software. Nice. Anyway, yeah, I wanted to give you a glimpse into that little groove, which is very exciting. And let me see if there's anything else I've missed in this groove. I don't think there is. I think it's just a groove. A good old, good-natured groove. Anything I've particularly missed? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think that's everything. That's everything for today, folks. Just a little groove, window into a groove. This is my room, by the way, just to give you a very quick tour. Guitars around the wall. It's a bit of a mess on the floor because I've got jumpers and unopened post and all sorts of stuff. A keyboard that I need to send back because it was the wrong one. There's the piano and some shelves up here. It's all very nice. And then the drum kit with the Earthworks overheads up there and some guitars around here. That's one of my favourite wall hangings because it never ends. That you can go in there forever. Wind chimes with the fastest decay I've ever heard. Gone. Extraordinary. And then tambourines, 12-string guitar, which is tuned to this nice tuning. It's called Dadgad, and it's like a really nice vibe. I just got this quite recently, and it's very exciting to play it because it makes me feel 12 strung. I don't know the words, I can't lie. Can you just see everything? I'm going to Carolina. I could play forever, but I've got important things to do, so I'm going to put the guitar to sleep for a second. But to continue going around the room, let's see. These guys, I'll show you these guys. These are some of the basses, and then other sort of guitars of other personalities, and often other tunings. Some ukuleles down there, things I saved up for in my teens. Keep me good company, and it's all very nice. And anyway, then this is the computer. And the screen sort of can move it around and do all sorts of weird stuff with it if you want to reduce phasing when recording vocals into your Neumann UA87, which is what I have here. And then, so what I do is I often sit here and just have that down there like this, and I sing so that there's no reflection against the screen, so you don't get weird like stuff like that. And all of the microphones, see the room mics on the door up there? Those are little, I guess they capture the ambience of the room, and everything goes into this rack mount unit down here. The computer actually lives next door in the bathroom, and so it's completely and utterly quiet in here. Listen to how quiet it is. Ready? Incredibly quiet. It's very nice, especially at night time, to hang out in here because everyone's asleep. All my family are asleep, and we just sort of hang. And it's really nice to have quiet, a really quiet room. So the room's very quiet, and then my speakers. You won't be able to hear how good they sound over FaceTime like this. But these are some keys, and they're absolutely extraordinary speakers. Really quite something. And my Neumanns, which are the sort of secondary monitors, and the JBL, which is my tertiary monitor. So I get all sorts of different sounds. And so the keys make everything sound really good. So sometimes I want to have things not sound really good, so that it makes me want to make them sound even better. That's very nice. And here's my MIDI controller, which allows me to play MIDI. These notes don't work at the bottom because I spilt tea on it this one time. It's really sad. But hopefully at some point I'll save up enough to buy a new one because that's good to have low notes. Some of my favourite things down here, such as this little pot of pencil leads. It's always very reassuring to spend some time in there. Lots of different things. And this here is, for example, the chicken time. I didn't ask you to start the track, but you obviously did. This is the chicken timer that I use to start Fascinating Rhythm. Can I do it with one hand? Actually, not really. Let me just prop you up right there. So, see, ready? And then I obviously sped up the... Does that ring any bells? He's a really good friend of mine. He kind of sits around here. And yeah, so he keeps me company. Obviously, when he's ticking, I can't record, so now I won't be able to record for a while. Thanks, you guys. But yeah, I think that's about it. Miscellaneous unworn clothes. Some amps. I record my guitar into this thing here, my electric guitar. And the bass amp lives over here. Which is cool. There's a press cutting of me outside the Albert Hall, because I really loved that show I did that one time. And it makes me feel excited to looking at that. But I'm going to put it upstairs quite soon, because I've been looking at it for a few weeks now. And I guess that's it. We're back to the beginning. Maybe you didn't see these guys, but this is the harmonizer. It lives in that Pele case down there. And all of this stuff is just musical instruments. These, for example, are little Apple speakers. Remember these old Apple speakers? Classic. Well, yeah, a friend of mine from MIT, whose name is Brian, who I adore, he made these little lights that they sit on. And I really like the vibe that they give. And you can change the colours and make them change and stuff like that. There's the world. Always nice to see the world. My 2 Grammy Awards and my accordion. And that's a bottle of vodka inside a sort of encased in a wooden shell with monkeys surrounding. It's very nice. Tabla, other things. And these here, I'll just before I go, because I really should keep going with my work, but I want to show you this crazy thing. So you might have noticed recently I've been really interested in microtonal games. And it's very exciting playing with microtones, but this is a guitar that was sent to me by a man named Steve Vai, who's like a very legendary rock guitar player, also quite a dear friend of mine. And he made these guitars in the 80s, and basically there are, how many? I guess, yeah, there are 16 frets in an octave, so 32 frets in 2 octaves. And so you get all sorts of really weird, like gnarly stuff going on. So that's a minor third, yeah. Do-do, and traditionally you've got do-do-do-do, but now you've got... Isn't that crazy? It's really a very strange sound, but yeah, it's like a really strange multi-fretted guitar. And there's another one over here which is actually exactly quarter tones. Let me see if I can show you that. Yeah, so this is like... Can't really hear it actually, can you? But that's 2 frets every semitone, so there's just a ton of frets on this thing. And sometimes you want your electric guitar like to be a bit gnarlier than just like your gnarly guitar playing. And so tuning is a good place to gnarl things. So for that reason, I'm very stoked and happy to have these guitars in my possession for the time being, because I can record gnarly tuning if it's something I'd like to do, which often it is. Like on a day like today, I like to do that. I'm going to just turn on my lava lamp. There you go. Now everybody feels much better. Anyway, yeah, I think that, yeah, that's about it. I guess that's about it. I'll show you my favourite cymbal as well, because it really is great. And sometimes in the middle of the night, you just need a bit of... You know, because it sizzles. These little rivets / sort of nails are in there. Just makes it jingle. And so whenever I want to sort of release air into a song, like you want to give a rush of air, and sometimes you do want that because stories need air sometimes. And then I'll just play that cymbal, and it's really nice because it kind of gives this impression of air. Okay. As you're asking, one more thing. Let me get this guy out. So this is my auto harp. Let me see. There you go. So an auto harp is traditionally tuned in this way, which is kind of like a mixture of chromatic and diatonic. But I've tuned it my own tuning because I love the sound of it as a whole. And the idea is that these things here, they press down felt on different strings, and it mutes it, and so you get a number of different chords. If it's tuned correctly, you get like C, D, G, E, A, B, or H, as they say in Germany, G, A, and D, and then you've got some sort of secondary and tertiary things. But I use this in Hideaway because it was actually the snare the snare drum sound was like a pop, but then I hit the back of the auto harp like this, and I recorded the resonance on the strings, and it was really cool because it sort of breathes this surreal kind of circus light onto the snare sound. It stopped it being a knock, and it gave it some sort of natural reverb decay, but it wasn't actually reverb, it was auto harp strings. So get yourself an auto harp. I got that, I sort of nicked that from my primary school. They were throwing it out, and I said, oh, do you mind if I take that? And they said, oh, it's okay, Jacob, you can take it. So I took it, and now it's in my possession still. It was a while since I've been to primary school, but there you have it. There you have it. That's the vibe. Yeah, I think that's everything. So, well, thanks for stopping by, everybody. And I'll see you very soon. I'll certainly see you very soon. There's all sorts of music that's being created that I'll sort of soon tell you about, but I won't tell you about it yet because it's still being created, and the formation is happening, which is it's very, very exciting. The whole thing's very, very exciting. So stay tuned over the next few months or so. And I'll sort of explain what I've been up to this year. Not yet, though. Very cool. Well, be good, won't you? Have a fantastic day. And I'll just play a really quick song on the piano because you're all here. And what key shall I play this song in? Any keys ideas? Emojis don't count as keys. Anybody? F sharp. Okay. And now the question is, what song do I play? And I might need your help there as well. Any ideas? I've got some ideas, and if I don't know any of the songs you suggest, I'll play one of my own ideas. What do you guys reckon? Songs? Human Nature and Blackbird. Overtime is too complicated for me, but Human Nature I know. I'll do Human Nature in F sharp. It's not really the best key for me, but so that means B is the first chord. Looking out across the letdown, the city wings of sleepless eyes. Here I always shake my window, sweet juice inside. Get me out into the nighttime. Four walls will hold me tonight. If this town is just a let me take over. And they say why? Tell them that it's human nature. Does it even that way? Why? Tell them that it's human nature. Why? Does it do me that way? 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 Reaching out to touch a stranger, electric eyes are everywhere. See that girl there? I know she's watching, you know. She likes the way I stare, and I say why? Down with this human nature, why? Does it do me that way? You little Tell me that it's human nature. Tell me that it's human nature. Tell me that it's human nature. Why? Oh, say I move the mountains and I'll move the mountains. If she wants it out of the way. Crazy, she calls me. Sure, I'm crazy, crazy, crazy love. Say I'll care forever, and I'll care forever if she wants it all the way. Sure, I'm crazy, sure, I'm crazy in love. Like the wind shakes the bough, she moves me with a smile. The difficult I'll do right now. The impossible will take a little while. Say I'll care forever, and I'll care forever if she wants it out of the way. I'll just throw the water out of the way. Sure, I'm crazy. Sure, I'm crazy. Crazy in love. Sure, I'm crazy in love. Crazy in love. Sure, I'm crazy in love. Easy. love, crazy, oh, love, love. Thank you very much. That was a little song called Crazy She Calls Me. Well, it's actually called Crazy He Calls Me, but I'm a boy, and so I'm going to sing Crazy She Calls Me. And that's fine. And the one before that was called Human Nature, as requested by you guys. Thank you for stopping by. It's such a pleasure to spend some time with you. I'm going to keep on with my arrangement that you heard earlier on. I'm going to save this video if I can and put it up so you can watch it, because I've seen that you've been wanting me to do that. And that's great. And have a lovely day. I love you all very much indeed. Thank you for being exactly who you are, and never ever feel any reason to change that, because you are exactly the right person today and tomorrow. Never rush being yourself, because sometimes changes. It's slow. It takes some time. But enjoy every moment of the day. And I'll see you all very soon. I'm doing a show in Bremen, by the way, in a few days' time with the Metropole Orchestra. If you're around in Bremen or anywhere around Germany or Europe or planet Earth and fancy coming along, I'll be there and playing some music for you, which is really exciting. In the meantime, go have some food, because I know you're very hungry. And see you very soon. Lots of love. Cheers. Bye.